Door. Dash dangles this thing called Top Dasher in front of you. Priority on high-paying orders. Dash anytime without scheduling. Cash out daily with no fee. Sounds great, but here's the catch. To get Top Dasher status, you have to accept 70% of orders, which means you have to accept a bunch of garbage $3 orders going 6 miles. So is Top Dasher actually worth it once you factor in the extra miles, the extra wear and tear, and the tax math? Today, I am going to run the actual numbers side by side. Top Dasher versus a smart cherry picker. The answer might change how you drive. Welcome to the Freelancer's Wealth Blueprint, where we help gig workers and freelancers build real wealth. If you deliver for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, or Instacart, hit subscribe. This is the channel that does the math your platform does not want you to do. First, let me lay out the Top Dasher requirements as they stand in 2026. You need a 70% acceptance rate, a 95% completion rate, a customer rating of 4.7 stars or higher, 200 lifetime deliveries, and 100 deliveries in the previous calendar month. Hit all those, and you get Top Dasher status for the next month. Miss one, and you lose it. Now here is what is changing. DoorDash is rolling out a new system called Dasher Rewards in many US markets with 3 tiers: Silver, Gold, and Platinum. Platinum is essentially the new Top Dasher with the same requirements. 70% acceptance, 95% completion, 4.7 stars. There is also a Diamond Pilot tier that gives priority access at a lower 50% acceptance threshold. Some markets still have the original Top Dasher program. Check your specific market in the app. Now the core question. Why does higher acceptance rate hurt your hourly rate? Because DoorDash sends you the worst orders to test your acceptance rate. If you cherry pick and only take orders that pay at least $1.50 per mile, your average per order payout goes up. If you accept everything, you take a bunch of orders that pay $3 to drive 6 miles. That is 50 cents per mile of driving, which after gas, depreciation, and taxes is essentially you losing money to deliver food. Let me show you the math. I am going to compare 2 drivers in the same market for 1 month. Both work the same hours. Driver 1 is a Top Dasher. They accept 70% of orders. They work 160 hours over the month. They complete 360 deliveries. Their average payout per delivery is $5.40 because they have to take all the bad orders to maintain acceptance. Their gross earnings for the month are $1,944. They drove 1,800 miles to do it. Hourly rate is $12.15. Driver 2 is a smart cherry picker. They have a 35% acceptance rate. They only accept orders paying at least $1.50 per mile and $2 per minute. They work 140 hours over the same month. They complete 220 deliveries. Their average payout per delivery is $8.20. Their gross earnings for the month are $1,804. They drove 1,200 miles to do it. Hourly rate is $12.89. Driver 1 earned more total dollars. Driver 2 earned more per hour and drove 600 fewer miles. So who actually wins? Now here's where the tax math takes over and changes everything. The IRS standard mileage rate for 2026 is 72.5 cents per mile. That deduction is gigantic for gig drivers because miles are your single biggest expense. Driver 1 drove 1,800 miles. Mileage deduction is $1,305. Net taxable income for the month is gross of $1,944 minus $1,305 equals $639. Driver 2 drove 1,200 miles. Mileage deduction is $870. Net taxable income for the month is gross of $1,804 minus $870 equals $934. But wait, you say. Driver 2 has higher net taxable income. Does not that mean more tax? Yes, technically more tax in dollars, but Driver 2 also keeps more cash. Look at it this way. Driver 1 earned $1,944 in gross revenue, but the actual cost of doing it included 1,800 miles of car wear, gas, and depreciation. Even with the mileage deduction shielding most of the income from tax, the real economic cost of those extra 600 miles is at least $400 in actual fuel, oil, tires, and depreciation. Driver 2 avoided that cost. Stack it up. Driver 2 earns slightly less gross revenue but has 600 fewer miles of wear, fewer hours worked, and a higher hourly rate. The Top Dasher status earned Driver 1 almost nothing in real economic value. The priority orders barely showed up. The Dash Anytime privilege was nice, but Driver 2 was already dashing in busy zones during dinner and lunch peaks anyway. The tax angle gets even more interesting. Both drivers are self-employed. They both pay self-employment tax of 15.3% on net profit. They both qualify for the Qualified Business Income deduction of 20% under OBBBA. Driver 1 will have a smaller tax bill because their mileage deduction is bigger, but they had to drive 600 more miles to get there. That is 600 more miles of risk, fatigue, and wear on their car. Now, when is Top Dasher actually worth it? 3 situations. 1. You live in a slow market. If you cannot consistently get scheduled hours during peak windows, Dash Anytime privileges are valuable. Maintaining Top Dasher just so you can work whenever you want might justify the trade-off. 2. Your local market has lots of high-pay orders that are hidden behind the priority access feature. Some markets do see meaningful priority order benefits. Test it for 1 month and compare your earnings to the previous month. 3. You are aiming for the Diamond Pilot tier specifically. Diamond gives priority access at 50% acceptance, which is a much easier bar to clear while still cherry-picking moderately. Verdict for 2026. For most full-time and serious part-time dashers, cherry-picking beats Top Dasher on hourly rate, on net cash kept, and on long-term vehicle health. Top Dasher status was more valuable when scheduling was harder to access and when priority orders meaningfully bumped earnings. In 2026, with most markets allowing dashing during dinner and lunch without restrictions, the requirements cost more in lost earnings than the perks return. Track your numbers for 1 month at 35% acceptance and 1 month at 70% acceptance. Compare your hourly rate. Let your own data make the decision. Hit subscribe for more delivery driver strategy and tax breakdowns. I will see you in the next one. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute tax advice. Consult a qualified tax professional for guidance specific to your situation.